Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. The Invictus Games is fast approaching, and yet another superstar has been added to the names of performers for the upcoming games. Chris Martin of Coldplay will be performing at the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games, joining superstars Nelly and Katy Perry. Now, this is not the first time that Chris will be performing for an event linked to Prince Harry. I believe Coldplay had performed for a previous Santa Ballet event, so this is nothing new. And of course, Chris is also very close friends with one of Prince Harry's closest friends, Nacho Figueres. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited for these games. A special shout out to Velma T, who has been selected as one of the 2025 volunteers for the Invictus Games. And to you, I say congratulations, and please do enjoy it for us both. Now, there's no word on the attendance of Duchess Meghan, but we have gotten word that there will be other royals in attendance, more specifically Prince Joachim and Princess Marie of Denmark. Now, I hope I didn't butcher his name. Now, when I saw the photo, I was like, why do they look familiar? And I remember that we had heard like a story of Princess Marie seemingly criticizing Meghan, talking about her experience within the royal family. Now, I can't verify if this is true or not, but that's where my mind went when I saw the announcement. Now, I take that announcement with a grain of salt since it's from the tabloids, and well, we know the tabloids lie often, but there is a long-standing relationship between the princes, so it'll be interesting to see them reunited once again. Now, of course, I believe the prince will be there in the capacity of representing or showing support for Team Denmark. I saw a few people wondering if this is a hint that Denmark would possibly be interested in hosting one of the future games. Now, we've seen beautiful pieces of art of Prince Harry and even Princess Diana for the Invictus Games, but there was this particularly beautiful piece of Prince Harry and the Chief of Defense Staff during Harry and Meghan's trip to Nigeria.
Hello, my name is Claire Soche. I'm a visual artist based in Abuja. I am Invictus.
Actress Jessica Alba shared a quick video of her and a few friends celebrating Kerry Washington's birthday, and eagle-eyed royal fans were quick to spot the Duchess of Sussex right to the side of Kerry Washington right there. Now, it's no surprise we've seen Meghan and Kerry foster a bit of a friendship over the years, so it's really not a surprise to see them hanging out. And if it's one thing we know about Meghan, she's very much a girl's girl. We also saw one of Meghan's close friends, Abigail Spencer, on the red carpet talking about Meghan's upcoming show.
What I love about it is that, Meghan's one of my best friends, and I feel like the whole world's going to get to see an authentic, very cool, very lovely insight into who she actually is as a person. So I'm very excited, and also you're going to learn a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot from her myself.
So this is a message for all those who are still hating on the up-and-coming cook show for Meghan Markle. So, again, let's keep it very simple. What Meghan Markle is doing here, it's not for you. It's not for you. And if you find yourself already hating the show before you've even watched it, and people coming out saying, Meghan Markle, I will not be watching your show, and it's already a flop. Well, I mean, that in itself is a stupid argument because the show hasn't even aired yet. But you see how people like me are in our kitchens baking, right? This show is for people like me. Meghan, being a Black, biracial woman of color, she is doing this show for people like me who get inspired by people like her. So if you are not a woman who gets inspired, right, please don't watch the show. Please don't be triggered by the show, because this show, it's not for you. It's for people like me and people who we can't wait. We can't wait for this show to air, because do you know what? We want the Montecito life. We want to just be inspired by Meghan Markle, because not only does she inspire people like me, but she also inspires our children. So Please sit out this conversation, sit out this program, sit out this whole thing. I wait for when there's a space that's created for people like me. And that's where I go, that's where I thrive, that's where I excel. So, the long and short is, please, 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 please leave Meghan Markle alone, because us who love her, we just love her and we will continue to support her. And some of us, we've loved Meghan even before Harry. Okay, we've known Meghan from Suits, from the TIG. This is why we support her, because this woman is an independent woman. She's a woman of substance, a woman of virtue, and she inspires people like me.
Now, there was an article this week from the Daily Mail entitled "Meghan Markle Sparks Debate as Fans Spot Engagement Ring Alteration." And this article is under the trending section, right? And look at the viewership numbers, 173.9 thousand viewers. And below it is a story about Kate visiting a hospice, 87.7 thousand views. Now, ever so often, I get comments under my comment section here or on different social media platforms where I'll often see fans of the royal family or fans of Kate saying, well, I don't like Meghan for X, Y, and Z. I absolutely adore Kate, our future queen. And they love to put in the classy future queen. And I'm always like, well, if you love Kate so much, why are you here? This channel isn't really about Kate. Why are you always camping out under comment sections about posts and videos about Meghan Markle? Look at the numbers. It's striking that a story about an engagement ring, the woman's been married for years now, still titillates the public to consume stories, or a non-story to be honest, about an engagement ring alteration, while you have your future queen who took a year off is just starting to go back to work. And I use the term work loosely. It's no wonder the Daily Mail and just about every other media continues to pump out Harry and Meghan stories on the regular. The engagement is insane. And we've seen the downward spiral in terms of viewership or readership for many of the UK tabloids. The Daily Mail is to axe even more journalists and will be merging the newspaper with Mail Online in an effort to curb some of those losses. So yeah, what's a quick way to extra money? Talk about Harry and Meghan. Even tired old stories about an engagement ring of a woman they claim is irrelevant. Make it make sense.
Meghan Markle sparks debate after fans spot she may have altered engagement ring for a fourth time. And fourth is in capital letters to ensure you don't miss it. Look at the wording of this headline. She may have altered. I need you to understand that the Daily Mail has written, Eliza, who's a writer for the Daily Mail, has written an article around a speculation of Meghan Markle possibly having enhanced or altered her engagement ring. Nothing definitive here at all. But there's a whole article written about it, guys. And even if she did alter her ring, let's say she decided to do that and went and did it. Were taxpayer dollars used for it? Has she signed some sort of a contract upon marrying Harry that she would never alter the ring, or maybe only alter it 2 times? And what debate has been sparked? I mean, are there other apps and there's debate taking place in chat rooms about Meghan Markle possibly altering her engagement ring? I'm trying to keep a straight face, but I want you to see the idiocy of this article. And I also want you to understand that only royalists and other races, they'll believe this because it serves their narrative. Eliza emphasized fourth time because she's insinuating, look at all the money this chick is spending. Look at all the money she's putting towards things she likes and wants to do. That's why fourth is in capital letters. It is designed to get the ire of those folks who don't like Meghan because she's a black woman who married Harry and they're doing well.
Alison. Meghan's new lifestyle series is already a hit before it's even been aired, and I'll tell you why. Because it's received millions of media articles in over 50 languages all over the planet, and the trailer has been viewed hundreds of millions of times across Netflix itself, YouTube, and all the other social media and digital media platforms. If that is not telling you that there's a huge level of anticipation to see what this show is all about, which means that people by default must view it, therefore making it a hit, I don't know what will. And this just proves that if you are good people and your hearts are in the right place, anything you do on the global stage will literally turn to gold. So Alison Boshoff for the Daily Mail, if you're still working there next week, Daily Mail, if you didn't know, are laying off hundreds and hundreds of members of staff because they can't make any money, because they haven't got proper journalists. If you're still there next week, Alison, do a real review of the show, or if you can wait that long, do a real review questioning what the British taxpayer-funded royal family actually do with their lives. Point your attention to a story that needs to be uncovered and that people will find interesting.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, Martin. Instead, we'll be fed more titillating stories about Beatrice and olive branches. Lord knows I had hoped that we would leave the olive branch stories in 2023 and 2024, but I guess not. And this one is from Jenny Bond, a former BBC royal correspondent. And this entire article is based on something that Jenny thinks may have happened. And if you read enough of these stories, it's always "it is believed" or "it may have happened." It's never anything concrete because they have no access to Harry and Meghan. They know just as much as we do, or they find out the same time that we do publicly.
A big reason I like to royal watch is because ultimately I'm a huge history buff, particularly the turn of the century all the way up till like the end of the Second World War, which is why I really like learning about the abdication crisis of 1936. So I got these two comments. I wanted to make a quick video about them. Edward VIII did not flee Britain. In fact, the day after he abdicated, he left for Austria. Wallis was in France, and they were both waiting out her divorce to be finalized. They could not be together because it might risk her divorce not going through. Edward and Wallis were married in June of 1937, and Edward actually never came back to his country except for a few visits. In 2003, a 7-page letter from Edward was found, and it was ultimately revealed that he was essentially financially blackmailed into staying away from England. Edward VIII could only return to England with the permission from his brother, George VI. Sound familiar? In the letter, which is dated December 22nd, 1937, Edward says, "I never intended, nor would I ever have agreed to renounce my native land or my right to return to it for all time." Like I said in my previous video, I do not think Edward knew what he was getting himself into when he decided to abdicate. As for why the comparisons continue, besides the fact that it's just an incredibly easy story to write, it's easy to blame an outsider for why a charming, beloved prince or king would rather leave than blame the system. Although don't get me wrong, I am not defending Edward VIII. He's been sucked, okay? I don't believe it's history repeating. I believe it's history mirroring, if that makes sense. What makes Harry and Meghan different, not only from Edward and Wallis, but also his uncle, the now Duke of Edinburgh, and his wife Sophie, is that they are able to make a living outside of the royal bubble. Edward VIII mooched off the royal family for like the rest of his life. While the similarities are there, I do believe a big reason that people constantly compare the two is because there's this like salacious like need for Harry and Meghan to go the way of Edward and Wallis. Wallis is a hated figure. She's like the royal Yoko Ono. So when I said in my last video that Harry was not following the path that was set out for him, because remember, Charles like pulled money from Harry and Meghan when they left. Charles pulled security from Harry and Meghan when they left. It was all about control, and they don't have it anymore. But one of the things that people leave out when they write these articles is that Harry and Edward ultimately were not the same. Edward VIII was a king. He was the Prince of Wales for like 25 years. Do you know how much money and privilege you get just from being the Prince of Wales? The money coming in from the Duchy of Cornwall alone. Harry relied on his father for money throughout his entire life until he and Meghan stepped away. Like, personally, I think it's a little unfair to compare a king abdicating to a prince just deciding to step back and his family essentially overreacting to try and control him to keep him in the country. But that's just my opinion.
All right, you guys, we have Invictus coming up, so everything is going to be good about Invictus. What we have to do is keep our eyes on the prize and really just celebrate the wounded soldiers. What we have to remember is that Invictus is a celebration of wounded soldiers. It was created by Harry, the Duke of Sussex, as a result of his lived experience. The story of Invictus is really touching. There is actually a series called The Heart of Invictus. And it's such a good way, I'd say, for those of us who want to play, I would say that would be the series that we would want to stream this week. Because it gets us into the right frame of mind. And we watch Invictus not for Harry and Meghan, we watch Invictus to support the wounded soldiers because that's what it's about. I am so proud of this little boy. I am so proud of this little boy for finding a gap of his fellow soldiers and doing something amazing. And for it to continue to grow. Harry did that. And congratulations to all of the participants and all of the family members. Because this is for you, and we're going to be there cheering for you. The beautiful part about Invictus is that it just opens the borders, right? During this interesting time in the globe on the world stage, to actually see this many countries come together to compete as competitive athletes with one commonality, and that was them fighting for their country at the detriment of their life.
Great point. Great point. Dimples Francis writes, or raise her own kids. This is with regards to Samantha Markle, right? Isn't it ironic that Meghan's brother and sister are both estranged from their children and Thomas Markle estranged from all his grandchildren? But yeah, Meghan's the problem. Entirely. I entirely agree. It's the hypocrisy for me that I can't deal with. Samantha Markle, we know she was a bad parent because, even her own daughter is closer to Meghan than she is to her own mum. And as for Thomas Markle Jr., whatever, that guy's sick. I remember reading lots of anti-Meghan articles where they would include things like, it's Thomas Markle hasn't even met Archie and Lilibet, and that's a terrible thing, and how dare she keep her kids away from their grandparent. Like, if I was Meghan and there was such a toxic person in my life who obviously didn't give a crap about me, why would I expose my own children to that? Why would I do that? Like, he has other kids, he has other grandchildren that he has access to, easy access to, that he never reaches out to. What about them? What makes Archie and Lily so special? Yeah? What makes them so special? Is it because they're royal? I think it's because they're royal. That man has other grandkids he has no interest in.
Oh, absolutely nowhere. It just says if you don't like our monarchy, try somewhere else. As Lane has commented below, telling me to go somewhere else where there's no monarchy is telling me to leave the country. I don't want to confuse you, Scott. And if you like your monarchy, that's fine. I hope you're getting good value from it. I hope they're keeping you updated on all their hard work and events. And I hope you're satisfied with them keeping secrets from you and not letting you know the truth behind their privileged lives while you remain poor Is that enough? Or do you need more attention?
And with that, we'll conclude today's video. The month of January 2025 has been the longest month ever, and I don't know how it is for wherever you guys are. I go between wanting to watch the news to be informed and being terrified of watching it because I just know it's going to be something, one thing or another. So instead of sitting around and feeling a little helpless, I'm trying to find ways to tunnel my energy into something productive. So of course I want to focus on my health, mental and physical, because that's very important. But also I've been prepping for something that I enjoy doing from time to time, creating little care packages for the homeless. And sometimes it changes with the seasons because, you know, the ones that I'm doing now is for winter. So it includes things like socks and gloves and hand warmers. But there are ones that I do that's more focused on females. So all of the things that we need for like menstruation and whatnot. Include some water, food, that could include sandwiches or those little protein breakfast bars. Also like hygiene products, just basic things that can fill an immediate need. Also like little cards with my local church pantry or soup kitchen. I feel like that's very helpful as well, and we have actually had people use the information and come and get food and a hot meal. So if you're feeling a little helpless and want to find ways to make a difference, then maybe this is something that you can do as well, wherever you are. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.